mind. You're goofy, bro. You're a clown, bro. You're a wolf, and you misleading the people. And you know how you do it? Because of the hurt, because of the trauma in the black community. Yes, a lot of evil things happen. Yes, there is some racism. Yes, what happened back in the day was slavery. And through the civil rights movement, it was awful. But some of you black pastors, you making our people be victims. You teaching the opposite of what the Bible says because you the real racist. And some of y'all make money, right, by keeping our people down. And they looking and they putting all their hope, Esther. What y'all really, man? Think of it, bro. Show me the tapes. Show me the tapes. Stop making the claims if you don't got the tapes.
Who is that? Who is that?
So this is, his name is Marcus Rogers. Child of the King is his Instagram, but he is a pastor in Chicago. Not sure what church he...
Racism in context. I love it.
So now he wanted Pastor Brian to show him the proof that this young man is racist. So Pastor Brian responds. One moment. Let me just get that last video. Okay, so he responded 16 hours ago.
So much has been said over the last couple of days in reference to the murder of Charlie Kirk, suggesting that this is the signal that Christendom is going forward. It is a very poor misrepresentation. We are against violence in all of its forms, and what took place in Utah was absolutely heinous. But yet, it still does not dismiss. In spite of how he died, it doesn't erase how it is that he lived. I don't want to be taken out of context, but I want to ask you, in Charlie's own words, is this the voice of Christendom and the church?
For these blacks trying to go rob her, happening all the time in urban America. Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact. Black crime is a major issue in our country. Why are you pushing criminal justice reform? Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Now, the southern border is, of course, the great replacement. They're trying to replace us demographically. They're trying to make the country less white. It is an anti-white agenda. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. America was at its peak when we halted immigration for 40 years and we dropped our foreign-born percentage to its lowest level ever. I do think that there is a direct correlation between someone's testosterone and their politics. On young men, the lower their testosterone, the more likely they are to be Democratic. When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Why is that?
So I'm sorry, are you trying to say that blacks thrive under subjugation?
No, I'm asking you the question. The data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed.
So much has been...
And that is the end, guys.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying earlier. And guess what? They did the other thing again. They did that other thing again. You're racist for pointing out his racism. It never ends. It just never.
So nothing new under the sun, right? So Malcolm, and I've heard the speech, but I'm gonna mess it up or whatever. But basically talking about the house Negro and the field Negro. So you heard that in those clips. So the dude, like they say, live in the master's house, eats the master's food. It's like he loves his master. And so when his master gets sick, we sick? It's like if the house burns down, he'll kill himself trying to save the master's house. While the field nigga don't get to eat that food. He don't love the master. He want to see the master dead. And it's like if the master house burned down, I'm gonna throw gasoline and wood on it. And I'm sorry if anybody knows the speech, I'm butchering this shit, but you get the gist of it. But literally, that's all I heard. Malcolm literally talked about all of this stuff in a lot of his speeches. Even when you get these people, like this guy on Fox News that got caught out there looking crazy as fuck. When the guy dropped the comment about voluntary lethal injection or involuntary lethal injection for the homeless. That brother, if y'all saw that clip, he was on there talking about, well, if they don't take the programs, then they just need to go to jail. They can either take the government assistance or they can go to jail. So it's like, so that dude, that's like the dude that they put out there. They find like some Negro or whatever, some dumb Negro that they can prop up to put out their agenda, hoping that other Negroes will listen to this Negro or whatever. It's like they've been this shit, nothing new under the sun. So just go back and listen to some Malcolm. It do you so good, especially in the times we're living in now. I would really recommend go do that. And it's like, and I know Louis Farrakhan gets a bad take, a lot of things, but go back and watch some of his stuff on Phil Donahue. It's a bunch of clips out there when he was on talk shows back in the 80s. Minister Farrakhan, as far as the times that we're living in wartime, y'all need to go back and listen to some generals. So I recommend Malcolm X and Farrakhan for y'all, and I land on it.
I want to talk about this. You would think that the shooter was black. I mean, I know it became a topic about race to a certain degree, but the shooter was not black. So us talking about, oh, he was racist, that's not why he got shot. It was something way different than that, which is why I don't really understand black people celebrating it, not just because it could bring unnecessary heat towards us, but also that it's like we always looking for some symbolic victory instead of going and getting real victories. It's not a victory that some white man shot a white man. So I don't really get the victory that a lot of black people take.
Jason, if I may, when you have two sides of something and one particular side is constantly blaming the other side, yet the atrocities are coming from within. When you are being blamed for something you did not do and the atrocities are coming from people that they are standing next to, people tend to celebrate that because you're worrying the enemy is under your nose, not across the street from you. And so that's one reason. The second reason, so for me, what I don't see being discussed about is the fact that this man was killed by another young white man in Utah, of that's the best place in white America, only because the side of that he represented on the far right believed that Charlie Kirk wasn't racist enough. They thought that Charlie Kirk wasn't. They thought yeah, I don't know another way to put it, but they thought he wasn't racist enough. The real conversation here needs to be how the Groypers and whatever they have going on are trying to cause a civil war because the current state of conservatism isn't strong enough for them. That's the conversation needs to be had here. Never mind the fact that black people are celebrating somebody who was eliminated for their rhetoric. The conversation needs to be how they are assassinating one another because they don't think that they are extreme enough.
From all the quotes I read and all the stuff they even just played in the clip, he seemed racist enough to me. You don't think...
Once again, Jason, that's not Jason. You would think that because you don't have the mentality of a Groyper, nor do you have the mentality of a white man. So for somebody who is generationally racist, you will think that this current state of conservatism, while you as a black man is OD enough. You have other white men deeper in middle America saying, hey, this level of conservatism still is not enough for me today. I still need more racism in it today. People are very agitated because 6 months in, they have not seen enough deportations. People are agitated because 6 months in, their president is saying, hey, we just signed a deal with China to bring more Chinese students over here. And his voter base is saying, that's not what we voted for. We voted for them to get out, not for them to come in.
Racist?
Pardon?
What could he have done to be more racist, you think?
I'm not what you're missing is there's another subsector of people, of white men who feel that Charlie Kirk was not racist enough. You have to go do your research on Nick Fuentes and the Groypers to understand that.
Hey, let me let me just say one, because CEO brought up a point to like, I can't see on stage, but like the brother that's speaking, what CEO talked about, he said that Charlie Kirk was going to talk to Black youth. That in itself
he hosted an annual conference for Black youth.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you. So that in itself, Jason, like for your hardcores, like your like mud people, your troglodytes, the one that like don't want to mix anything with us, they don't want you even doing nothing with Black people. So to that point, like he wasn't racist enough for some of these people. Can you see that?
I can see that because I'm just kind of learning about him. So if he's doing all this stuff for Black people that y'all ban, I can see that. But at the same time, it's still like if there's this metric for racism and he's not meeting it because he's doing a few things for, it seems like it would be a lot more white on white crime about this that we would see. But not only that, y'all don't think it could have been anything else?
Why? No, because the people that have done it are.
You think it was about Black people that?
Why are you twisting yourself into a pretzel trying to excuse what is obvious?
But
not only that a white man killed a white man.
He's just asking questions. He is only asking questions.
Jason, it's not necessarily for us. Like that's why I keep telling you to go back and look into Nick Fuentes in the Gorper group, because it's not necessarily about Black Americans. The Groper agenda for white America, in their eyes, Charlie Kirk's agenda for white America was still not white enough.
I think the job is that the righteous would check the wicked at this particular hour, but on that strength, this could all be fake news anyhow. Someone said they spotted this joker somewhere. So we should not be in the middle. That's the thing that I want to say more than anything, that don't play ourselves to the middle, but be on the side of righteousness for righteousness' sake, and check the wicked in the midst of their peculiar brand of iniquity, their capitalistic imperialism and communism and capitalistic.
Bro, don't
the money. They in it for the money and the power, and don't let them violate on our soil. It's my land, my street, and we should check them. And the peculiar
people still saying they seen Elvis. We seen that man get killed. Saying him.
Well, you just said one thing.
Fake news.
Let me say one thing that you mentioned something about Utah being the whitest or the most racist or something like that. I'm not in love with the Mormons, but they gotta get some credit for actually not being that way. Like if you look at their voting pattern with Trump, Utah only 45% voted for Trump in 2016. Like Trump's numbers are way lower than they were for any of the other Republican presidents. So they actually were the opposite in terms of that. So I have a hard time with you saying.
I didn't call unless someone else mentioned Utah. I didn't call Utah racist. I said that was the middle of white America. That's white utopia. That's what I said.
I haven't heard anybody call Utah racist either.
I don't think. But the white utopia thing, I think that's what I'm referencing.
Yeah, when I say white utopia, so listen to the context of the conversation, because when I say white utopia and we're talking about people who want to be amongst other white people, you tell me the populist breakdown of white Americans to others in Utah compared to the rest of the country. That's what I was talking about.
Their doctrine is the doctrine that the state was founded on was.
Thank you. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, Utah's not in the top 10 for whitest. Just FYI, it's not.
It just don't make total sense to me, because let's say he helped a few Black people, did a convention or whatever. It's still a net negative where all the things he said, like policies he feels should be pushed, saying we should be better off in slavery and stuff like that. It seems like even if he did speak at a few Black conventions, that the net outcome is negative towards Black people still, even if he did a few nice things.
Utah's number. I looked it up. Utah's number 12 for whiteness. So.
Let me address that, please. So Jace, to this point, he's a racist. He was a piece of shit racist. We're talking. racist. This shit don't make sense. We got nothing to do with this. Literally, we had nothing to do with this motherfucker being killed. We're just talking about that. Like I've heard other people say. So I'm telling you, when America catch a cold, when white people catch a cold, we catch the flu or whatever. We get COVID and shit. I'm saying the fact that this shit is getting put on us, we literally have nothing to do with this shit. And I can't think of the lady's name on satellite radio. A caller called in and was like some white man talking about Maxine Waters this and something, and she like read the motherfucker for filth or whatever. Just be like basically don't bring us into this shit. We have nothing to do. We're literally just talking because we're in a black space and we know how this shit. The radical left, the fact that HBCUs, a white man kills another white man, and HBCUs got credible fucking threats about like this one dude. I heard this shit. I don't know if Coach read that shit out. It's like these credible threats literally had nothing to do with that. So Jason, to that point, we're just talking about the over there on that side that like Nick Fuentes and the Groypers are saying that this motherfucker Charlie Kirk, that he wasn't hardcore enough for them. That has shit to do with us. So like, just don't you like? I feel like you conflate it. Like you bring it over here. That has nothing to do with us. We're just talking about what's going on over there. It's like watching a movie.
I just want to clarify something real quick. I know there was some. You were saying CEO was talking about Utah being the 12th whitest, but if you actually do the study of where black people live, Utah is in the top 5 of the least likely place for black people to live. Only top by Wyoming, Wyoming, Idaho, and maybe Montana.
Maine.
Black people specifically. And I think that's what the speaker was referring to.
No, see, I'm glad you said that, because that is a perfect example of people using statistics and numbers and putting them to make their point, right? And that's what Charlie would do a lot of times.
Yeah.
But let me, I wish I knew who you was. I'd give you like the emoji credit on here, but I'm giving it to you. Fist up.
Lisa, Michael was talking. I just wanted to respond to Lisa real quick. Lisa, Michael was talking about Reese Culver.
I already know.
Okay.
I put it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, the issue, though, is, again, I pointed out where they stood on Trump in terms of the presidential election. They voted a lot lower for Trump than they did in the past or any other Republican candidate. So I think you've got to provide some credit for that.
No,